Welcome, friends. Recently, I asked, what topics would you like me to cover? And one of the most requested topics was education in Royal Court. So sit down in your chairs, listen up, and no goofing around in the back of the class. And of course, don't forget to watch the end of the video where we're going to discuss some of my strategies on how I deal with education. So how does the education system work in Crusader Kings 3? Well, good news. The underlying system hasn't changed in Royal Court. Well, there's a hidden score that's going to determine your education outcomes. And from the age 6 to 15, every child will have a chance to increase their education score. Score under 6, that will give you 1 star. 7 through 10, that's going to give you 2 star. 11 through 14 will give you that 3 star. And anything above 15 is going to give you that sweet 4 star score. So let's first look at modifying the score directly. If your spouse is at your court, has a high learning or a high skill in the focus or the scholar trait, they have a chance to give your child 1 point.
My mom taught me that.
Your court tutor is the new system in a Royal Court and is going to help out with educating your child. So a terrible, poor, or average court tutor will get your child 2 points. A good or excellent court tutor will get your child 3 points. And a excellent one also has a chance of getting that child a 4th point. Another option that you have is the Studious Youth Dynasty Legacy. This will give your child an extra 2 to 3 points. You do have to be careful about your cultural traditions. Some of them will give you negatives or positives to your child's learning score, depending on the focus that they have. And what is the ultimate modifier? Well, that is building yourself a university and making sure that your child attends. That will give them a plus 12 to their education score. So with an excellent tutor, studious youth, and a university, you are guaranteed that 4-star education trait.
When I grow up, I'm going to Bovine University.
And if you want to guarantee that you're going to have those right strategies, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you win all of your games. All right, so let's remove universities from the equation because they kind of make things easy. With a good court tutor, you can guarantee yourself 3 points for that child. And with the kin trait, you can get another 2. So it's going to bring you up to 5 points. So we just have to make up the ground to the 15. Now, every year for between the age 6 and 15, the child will have a chance to increase by 2 points their learning score. The base for this is 60% chance to increase this score. However, of course, this can be modified. This can be modified via the intelligence line of traits. So this is like your genius, your intelligence, and also the negative traits also affect, and of course, they will not make it easier to educate your child. Now, these traits affect the child's education, both from your child that you're educating and the guardian that's educating the child. If the child is being educated outside of their focus, this will have a negative impact. If the child is being educated within their focus, this will have a positive impact. And your guardian's skills in the trait that they're being educated in and their learning trait also are going to have a minor impact to this equation, though less so than if you get yourself that genius buff on both your guardian and your child. With the good guardian, genius traits, and good skills to back up on that guardian, you are going to run yourself about 75% to 80% chance of getting that extra 2 points for the child. So we have 9 roles between the ages 6 to 14. So how many do we need? Well, if we have an excellent tutor, then we need to get 6. If we have an excellent tutor and the kin trait, then we need to get 5 of them. And at 75 to 80% chance, there's a solid chance that you're going to be getting those 4-star traits. And you're almost guaranteed to minimum get those 3-star traits. And just like you're maximizing your education traits via this video, don't forget to maximize that like button so we can spread this video to as many people as we can. All right, so how do I play the education game and how do I manage my heirs that I'm planning on taking over? What I do is I sit down at the beginning of the game and I decide what is going to be my play style for this game. And I choose two focuses that I'm going to focus on for all of my educations throughout the entire line. Once in a while, I will skip to something else if I have some sort of emergency. I need to do something. There's something that I need to break off from my playstyle. But I'll choose two of those. Then, whenever I go to choose the child's focus, and I usually do this right at the age of 3, so I don't forget. So, what I'll do at the age of 3, as soon as they get that child trait, is I will go in and I will see where the green and red arrows are pointing to, and then I will go and select one of the two focuses that I did that is not in the red arrow. Now, if they're both not in the red arrow, I will prioritize a green arrow, or I will make a priority. This is number 1 focus I'm going for, and this is number 2 focus. For example, most of the time, my 2 focuses are going to be stewardship as the priority, and then learning as the secondary. The next thing that I'll do is I never let the AI educate my child. What I will do is I will always educate my child directly, even if this means that I'm going to get a lower education trait. And the reason why is because as you're going through and educating your children, you're choosing their personality, you're guiding their personality. And I would rather have personality traits that I can live with versus a really good education trait. Too often, the AI has chosen some really bad choices for my personality traits, and I just don't want to play them. And I'd rather have that 2-star trait than say something like shy. Grovikin from the future here. Well, still your guys' past, but future from when I recorded this. It's a time thing.
People assume that time is a strict progression of cause to effect, but actually, from a non-linear, non-subjective viewpoint, it's more like a big ball of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff.
So what you can do is you can unassign yourself as a guardian once you get that last personality trait. Now, if you get that personality trait early enough, at the age of about 13, then you will end up having a couple roles left that you can actually get some extra points that might help you out. Now, if you get it later towards when you're 15, you probably will only have 1, maybe 2 roles left. But it's definitely something that you want to try to take advantage of, and remember to switch out a genius if you are not a genius as the guardian for those last year 2 or 3. Second, I always keep around an excellent court tutor at all times. And the reason why I keep around an excellent court tutor is to help educate my child. It also helps out when you're dealing with your learning schemes. So it's just something nice to have around. If I lose my court tutor, then what I'll do is I'll play the marriage game to make sure that I get an excellent court tutor. The final part of my strategy is I look at getting an intelligence trait, a positive one, not a negative one, right? A positive intelligence trait. So this is going to be your quick, intelligence, or genius, preferably genius in my line ASAP. So what about studious youth? We talked a lot about that. I usually don't target this right away. So if I'm playing a long game, what I will do is I'll take the first 2 legacies in the bloodline, and then I will go down the kin line and grab the studious youth as my 4th selection. So it's going to take me a tiny bit to get there. With this strategy, it's not going to be perfect right off the bat. The first couple rulers, usually 2 or 3 rulers, are going to be a bit of a gamble on what I get. It's not uncommon that I've ruled in those first few rulers with a 2-star education trait. I usually don't have a 1-star, but 2-star I have had several times at that point. Now, once I get to the 3rd, 4th, or 5th ruler, I start moving into quite often getting 4-star traits. And then once in a while I'll get 3 stars. But of course, the further down the line that I go, then I'm going to almost guarantee myself 4 stars. And it is very rare. I have to have some really bad luck on those rolls to get that 3-star. I hope this video has been helpful. And if you're at this point in the video, I'd love to hear your thoughts and your strategies that you use for educating your children in Crusader Kings 3. Please feel free to leave them in the comments below. But with that, I'm going to say have yourself a good morning, good day, or good night wherever you are.